This week I've got a bit of an update for you. Stay tuned to find out more about a big announcement. Welcome back everyone to Scale War Machines. I've been busy the last few weeks putting out a video every week. This time it's going to be slightly different because I want to do a bit of a channel update for you. I want to fill you in on an important piece of news. I also want to tell you what's been going on in the workshop since you last saw me. I mentioned it in one of my recent videos that I'd been very busy planning and preparing for the launch of a new channel. Yes, that's right, I'm going to be working on a new YouTube channel, and it's a car channel. Well, the big news is that car channel is ready. We will be launching the first video just after this video, so I'll put a link in the description, but I've scheduled that video to upload immediately after this one, and I've got a massive favour to ask of all of you. I appreciate you may not be into cars or car restoration, and indeed you may well not be into 1990s and early 2000 vehicles, but one of the great things about YouTube is community, and I know there's a great gang of followers out here who support the channel. I'd be really grateful if you could check out the first video and maybe consider subscribing. It would mean a lot to me and it would help get that channel off the ground. But don't worry, I'm still very busy with Scale War Machines and model making. I just wanted to give you an update on different projects that are ongoing and what my thinking is for the next few videos. Whilst we're talking about cars, you'll recall that I am building the USCP conversion to make this model into my black BMW Touring. Well, I've got some good news. I've spoken to Misha at that company and we've agreed that we have a possible avenue to upgrade elements of this resin transkit into the facelift model. That's the later model of BMW Touring, which would exactly match mine. So I'll keep you posted on that. I haven't forgotten about this project. In other news, I thought it was important to tell you about this airbrush. Gaahleri is a new manufacturer of airbrushes, or at least new to me, and they contacted me a couple of months ago offering to see if I would like to road test some of their models, and they sent me this one, the Gaahleri Ace series. This is the GHAC-98D. It's a very nice dual action airbrush, and I've been using it for that time, so a couple of months, and I'm really very impressed with it. I plan to integrate this into a video all about beginner airbrushes because I think the price point for this airbrush is absolutely stunning given the quality you get. I used it on my 1/72nd scale King Tiger, the Revel kit I talked about a few videos back, and it really is very, very good. The quality of the brush, from the finish, the build, even little touches that are unique to this brand like the highly polished interior of the cup for cleaning. Just the feel of it. I've never seen an airbrush at this price point that feels as good as this one. Well, the spraying performance is also excellent, so that's really quite impressive. You will find interchangeable needles, get a little bit of lube, which is really nice, some spare O-rings, and there are various features of this brand of airbrush that are part of their marketing. And one of them is a new nozzle design. I'm going to continue to use this airbrush on various projects because I think this is a good contender. I've certainly got my favourites and I'm very interested to hear what your favourites are. But I use all of these airbrushes. If you watch this channel enough, you'll see me just going through all these airbrushes. And in fact, I love them all. They're all good in different ways. But I suspect the Gaahleri brand is one that you're going to see sticking around and that's going to be very popular, principally because of the price point. So watch this space as I continue to review this, and I thank Gaahleri for sending me this sample. In terms of figures, lately I've been working on this figure, which is a Nuts Planet release of the famous teleseries Band of Brothers. Of course, it shows Damian Lewis as Dick Winters. The reason I'm working on this is that I have never been happy with it. For me, it's way too flat and boring. There's no real contrast in the uniform. The reason for that is this was made in 2016, right at the beginning of my figure painting, really, and particularly my figure painting with life colour. What I've been doing is I've been experimenting at the back with adding more shadow and contrast, and I've been making some really interesting discoveries and trialing different things. What I'll do is I'll release this video very shortly, and that will show the whole process up to this point, and then we'll pick up with the treatment I'm giving the back of the figure, and we'll do the rest of the figure, and I'll show how I'm bringing it back to life to a level that I'm happy with and adding a nice degree of contrast. As you've guessed, if you follow this channel, I pretty much make models about anything that tickles my fancy, and that includes figures. If I had time, I would do naval subjects and aircraft as well. But I know that can be slightly confusing to the audience, but I will be returning to more figure work, and the next video will be this, which is a bit of a rarity. It was a limited release from Dark World Creations of Judge Dredd on his Lawmaster. Now this is clearly a science fiction or cartoony type subject, so again I make all sorts of different stuff. This was done directly after the last video, which was the Nuts Planet little Deutsch Africa Corps figurine. So what I'm trying to do is go back through the archive of all the stuff I've filmed and show the progression of my figure work. As I mentioned before, there's lots of old videos that I've recorded over the years, and I've got all the media, and it's just a case of editing it. One of the nice things about being part-time now is I can do that. So this will be next up. I painted it with a variety of different paint brands, and we'll be looking at that very soon. If you're interested in finding out more about this, there's a review that I did back in 2015 of the resin limited production release from Dark World Creations. As well as this figurine, I've got one more that I would put in the same category as kind of dead, flat, not really interesting enough. And that's this one over here, which is the fabulous Young Miniatures British Lewis gunner. I made this at the same time as the German Stormtrooper that I featured in 3 other videos. Now, I'm very, very happy with the face. That, to me, using life colours was a great success. What I'm not happy with is the uniform body. And once again, for me, it's just too flat and doesn't come to life. Now, obviously, looking at the box art is somewhat discouraging because it's been beautifully painted. But what I would say is I know I can bring this back to life. The problem I say with some of these life colour paints, and indeed some of these military colours, so browns, greens, khakis. And I'm finding that with certain paint brands, I need to just get the colours to pop a bit more. I haven't found that to be a problem with Vallejo, funnily enough. And they have a type of intensity that I can't quite describe, but they have a luminance that some other paints don't have. What does that mean? Well, it means I need to find new techniques to get these figures finished and up to the standard that I think they should be. This one is way more recent. The Dick Winters character, Damian Lewis, I mean, this was quite a few years ago now. I love this figure so much. It's such a great piece of sculpting. So it deserves to be painted slightly better. I'm quite pleased with the face, but I think the rest needs work. So that's what I'll be releasing soon. All right then, so that's a slightly different video for you this week, partly because of the launch of the new channel. Please do me a favour, go and check it out. It's going to air immediately after this one, and normal service will resume on Scale War Machines next week and with forthcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching, thanks for supporting the channel, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Subscribe for our latest videos.